Hi, this is Anita from Reluctant Low Carb Life. And today we're going to talk a little bit about herbs, in particular fresh herbs. Herbs that can elevate any type of meal, whether it's a low carb meal or another type of meal. Here are some basic herbs to consider to have in your kitchen, and basically fresh herbs. I'm always a great fan of fresh herbs, not dried herbs. Somehow, for me, they always taste so much better in the food and in a meal than they do if they're fresh and they are not dried. I realize in some places getting, fresh herbs during certain times of the year may be very difficult. But if you're able to get fresh herbs, here are some great fresh herbs. Basil. Basil is a great fresh herb. In fact, there's different types of basil. There's, an Italian basil. There's many different types of basil. There's basil, which is used in cooking, like Vietnamese cooking. So if you're able to get a fresh basil, use fresh basil. Chives is another one. I love fresh chives. In fact, when I make soup, I will always try to find fresh chives, especially I'm in the United States. I go to that part of the grocery store where they have the fresh herbs, and I'll get myself some fresh chives. Having fresh chives can just make all the difference in soups and other things. It has this really delicate onion flavor. It's a great fresh herb. Cilantro is another one. Some people love it. Some people hate it. It's a great herb. I love it. A lot of people may not realize that it's used a lot, not only in Mexican, but also Vietnamese cuisine. Cilantro is a big herb for Vietnamese cuisine. And actually Indian dishes. It's bright. It's transformative. It's got a great aroma to it. And it's really a great herb to have fresh. Parsley is another one. Dried parsley just doesn't taste as good as fresh parsley. Parsley is a great herb to have as a fresh herb. Mint. I love fresh mint. I've always loved fresh mint. Even as a child, we had some mint growing in our yard, and we'd pick it up and eat the fresh mint. Mint is a great herb. Mint is great to put into things even like soda water and lime, and a bit of fresh mint is great. Mint can just give a little bit of this vibrancy to a dish. It's actually another one of those herbs that's used a lot fresh in Vietnamese food and Vietnamese cooking. You can add fresh mint to a cucumber and feta salad. You can use it in yogurt with grilled lamb or chicken. And you can toss in a low berry salad for a refreshing twist. Mint is just one of those great herbs that you can have around that can really give a pick-me-up to many types of dishes. Dill. Dill's another great one. In fact, fresh dill with fish is great, as we all know, right? So, you can sprinkle over, salmon or shrimp. You can add your cucumber salad with a tangy Greek yogurt dressing. And you can mix with scrambled eggs or an omelet to make, just have that little bit of dill taste in that. Dill is also a great herb. Rosemary is another one. If you can't get it fresh, it's one that a lot of people use dried. But you can drizzle over roasted vegetables. You can add to roasted chicken or lamb. And you can finally chop and mix in almond flour for, a little bit of a savory twist. Rosemary is a great one, as is thyme. Thyme has got sort of this complex flavor to it. It's a great sort of earthy type of flavor that it has to it. Of course, when it comes time for Thanksgiving, we all know thyme is being used. But it can be used in a garlicky butter sauce for... It can be added to Brussels sprouts, and it can be included in broth for soups to give some type of flavor to it. Oregano is another great one. And if you can get oregano fresh, it's great to use oregano. It can, for Greek salads, you can add it for grilled chicken or lamb, roasted zucchini or eggplant. Oregano is also great. And our final one we had was tarragon. It sort of gives that licorice flavor, but it's a great one for, to put on chicken or fish, an omelet, or salads or asparagus. So if you wanted to have like 10 herbs that you wanted to make sure that you had fresh, or you grew the 10 herbs in an indoor garden, those would be the 10 herbs that I would grow and that I would use, in my cooking, because all of those herbs can be such a great addition to so many, many types of dishes. And where, recipe calls for dried herbs, you can actually put in the fresh herbs and it will taste so much better. This is Anita from Reluctant Low Carb Life. We're going to put a link into our blog post on the 10 fresh herbs that elevate any low carb meal. So if you're interested to be able to read more about these herbs and ways that you can use them, to give you some suggestions, there's really no right or wrong way. Experiment, be creative, try different things you can do, try different ways you can use these herbs. And again, I said, if you're looking for an herb garden, these would be the 10 that I would pick to have in my herb garden. These are the 10 great fresh herbs to have. Thank you so much for listening and being part of our community. We certainly do appreciate you and joining for us for the trifecta of health, which is about eating fresh, eating foods that help you feel full, and also fitness, doing those 3 things to improve your life. Thank you.